Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
All right.
Yeah.
We back, y'all. Another week.
I know.
Another day, another dollar.
I feel like it's a sound check, but we're live at the same time.
Right.
I'm like, I'm still adjusting.
Yeah, that's all right. You know, when we have a conversation, we got to settle into it.
When we conversating.
Right. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Sipping on Excellence. I am Dr. Lionel Hunt, and
I am Coach KJ.
yes, sir,
Kenneth
Johnson. Every week coming at y'all with hopefully some shit that y'all gonna find interesting.
Dropping every Wednesday.
You know it.
Trying to drop some rhymes.
Man.
Some lines for the dimes.
We've had some good ones lately that be getting a lot of traction.
Yeah.
I need y'all to stop just listening to our shit and subscribe. Now, we appreciate the listeners. As long as y'all getting something out of it. Plain and simple.
He said I didn't say that.
I did. As long as y'all getting something out of it, we good. Yeah, that's all I can say. As we settling in here.
For real.
Coach, man, how was your day, dude?
My day was good up until right before I came here.
Had to snatch a soul today.
I'm gonna have to get a little aggressive. I'm like he said, got way too much to lose.
Way too much.
For somebody that has absolutely nothing to lose.
We're going to talk about that on a future podcast.
Yeah, it became an absolute topic.
What you got to lose? Yeah, as we talk about it, I'm going to go ahead and put that in.
Yeah.
I'll do it in a little bit.
Okay. I feel like my microphone keeps wanting to sink. Oh, look at him. Put that.
You gotta tighten it up, or else it's just gonna continue to drop. Drop it down. Get your eagle on, girl.
Oh wow.
I'm fucking silly today. Want to talk about something that kind of. I was listening to some motivational speaker earlier this week, and he made a statement, and I didn't quite capture it right. I posted it on my post on my stories, but it said compatibility is what turns a love story into a life story. And I thought that was an interesting statement because think about this. People always throw out the words, do you have chemistry with someone? Are you compatible with someone? And I think most people don't even know what that means. I think they mistake attraction for chemistry.
I think also they take the word, oh, I love this person, for absolute chemistry or compatibility.
Yeah.
I think they mistake that as well. I can love someone. Like, I love my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her.
You can have love for someone.
And we were,
Yeah, you can have love for somebody without being in love with them.
Right. Absolutely.
For sure. But, you think about what makes people compatible. I mean, let's start with Sipping on Excellence. Look what makes us compatible in this partnership. It ain't his bullshit. Him doing this shit. There's just something that makes it work.
Yeah, there's something that makes it mesh.
And honestly, chemistry and compatibility, it's intangible. You can't say, oh, this is what this is. So let me ask you a question. When you met your wife, what did you notice about her that made you think, I think we're compatible? How long did it take you to realize you're compatible?
It didn't take long.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I knew I was attracted to her.
Okay.
We met, we conversed. I say, oh, there's something behind this one. Immediately.
Okay.
For me, after probably, I want to say the first, even second date, I was like, I want to pursue this.
So
Seriously.
So what is it that, no, because most people don't know what chemistry is.
Right.
You know, and so when it comes to a man, and we're going to teach women how to know if a man thinks he has chemistry with you. How did you treat your wife to show her, or how did you know there was chemistry? What was your interaction with her?
I think it was just, well, one, I just appreciated that she was just a grown ass woman.
Okay.
Her ability to be in the moment, laughing, you know, she always talks about like, I'm funny. I'm like, you have funny moments. But, you know, she also just didn't rest on my laurels. Like whatever I said, she challenged it. You know, it was just ebbs and flows of just goodness and interesting and challenging at the same time, which was, I found interesting for me.
Right. How long did it take you to understand that?
It didn't take long. You know, I already experienced it once.
Yeah.
So I knew that this was 180 from where I was.
Got it. And so the reason why I'm asking Coach all these questions, because I'm just trying to dig deep into this topic. Things that a man will typically do when he thinks that there's chemistry or he feels chemistry. Mm-hmm. Number one, a dude is going to face you. Like ladies, I'm talking to the ladies out there. A man is going to face you and he's going to hold eye contact. Because that's one, and it's not going to be just as you're speaking, he's going to look at you because he's engaged. A guy's not going to be engaged if it's just physical attraction.
Correct.
If there's no chemistry, he's not going to be engaged. Two, aside from the engagement, he's going to be playful with you. He's going to want to be around you. He's going to want to have in-depth conversations. These are all things that lets him know, that should let you know, hey, this dude is feeling something more from me. And it's not, don't mistake chemistry for the fucking butterflies. We already talked about the butterflies is anxiety, you know, but that thing you feel, or that thing you feel when somebody's there, that level of comfort when somebody's around.
There's a little ease.
Yes. And these are all things that women, you guys should pick up on, because a dude isn't going to just outright throw it out there. And most of the time, he doesn't even know himself that the chemistry is there. He just knows he wants to be around you. Mm-hmm. You know? And with women, you know, I wish we had a woman here on this particular topic to give her point of view. But that being said, ladies, those little butterflies that you feel for a dude, that's not chemistry. That infatuation you have with a dude, that's not chemistry. Your smile that goes on your face when you see his name pop up on your phone when he's texting you, that's when you know this is more than just an attraction. Mm-hmm. Because the thought of him makes you smile, not just smiling when he's in your presence. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You want to hear what he has to say. You hold eye contact. You listen intently, and you know the chemistry is there when you're willing to listen to his advice. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think another tall tale about chemistry as well is, you know, we're talking about engagement. I think also is holding space with each other without ever saying anything, and being okay in that moment.
I can enjoy your company without saying a word.
Right.
Like you said, just being there.
Yeah. The intentional gaze at each other or
Or just like look over and be like, you know what, I dig this person. And the funny thing is, if you ask people to describe that thing that makes them want to be with somebody, they can't tell you. They can't tell you. Like just now, you sort of told me, but it wasn't like one specific thing that you were like, no, it's this. It's the intangible stuff.
Yeah.
The feel good stuff. That's chemistry. Now, just because you have chemistry, does that make you compatible? Right? Because like everything else, chemistry changes if you change the elements.
This is true.
You change the elements, that chemistry changes.
So would you say that the attraction compounded with the chemistry could lead to compatibility?
I think compatibility is that what makes you compatible is that you're on the same wavelength. Chemistry doesn't necessarily put you on this. Chemistry is something you feel.
Correct.
Compatibility means goals. Like say, for example, you meet a woman, you know that she wants to get married, she wants to have kids, she's still wants to work, she wants to do all these things. You're compatible if your life says, you know what, my life wants that for you as well.
I get it. So basically,
you could have mad chemistry with somebody that's not good for you.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm hearing is you have the attraction, which draws you to them. You figure out that there's certain things within chemistry that you can't explain that brings you together, that keeps you in the midst of each other. The compatibility is kind of like, okay, what's your playbook? What's my playbook? How do we put the playbook together? Or can we put the playbook together?
Again, chemistry gives you the love story. Compatibility gives you the life story. Mm-hmm. Because... Mm-hmm.
So it's the playbook.
Yeah. If my playbook is different than yours, or if I see my future is different than yours, we could still have mad chemistry. But we know that we're not compatible as partners, and that's how friendships are formed. Or, don't mistake chemistry for sexual tension.
Yeah.
Different, right?
Huge.
It's why you think, and the thing is, you have people who have chemistry in these bad, sort of these toxic relationships, but they're not compatible. And they're toxic because they're not compatible. Mm. But there's just animal attraction because there's so much chemistry there, but it's just not, you're not good for each other because you're on two different wavelengths. She's a hustler, a go-getter, and he's just like, yeah, I'm good. But there's that chemistry, that thing that they feel for each other, but they know they're not compatible. That's why people stay in relationships longer than they should, because the attraction's there, there's some chemistry there, but there's no future there. So you fall in love, but there's no life story. Mm-hmm. Because that life story can't be written if you're not compatible. Right? And so I think you can't have compatible without chemistry, but you can have chemistry without being compatible.
Say that again.
I can't be compatible with you if there's no chemistry. Mm-hmm. But we can have chemistry and not be compatible.
Right.
Because our life plans are different.
Right.
There's chemistry there, but our life plans are different. I think compatibility is not feelings. I think chemistry is feelings. I think attraction is physiology.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if I were going to break the three of them down, physiology gives you attraction. Feelings give you chemistry. Compatibility is the plan.
It's kind of like the id, the ego, and the superego, how you put them all together. Yeah. Okay.
And so you can have
that.
You can have compatibility, but you need chemistry to be compatible. And
because you got to know that I want to do the work with this person.
But you don't need the physiology to be compatible. Because chemistry and compatibility, friendship.
Yeah.
Attraction, chemistry, compatibility, relationship. Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how my brain wraps around it. If the listening audience out there has any thoughts on that, it'd be good to get some feedback. This is just, I'm no social psychologist kind of feeling my way through. This is just, in my brain, this is kind of what makes sense to me.
Well, social psychology, guess what? They're trying to figure it out as well.
Yeah. You know, and it may be different for everybody. You know, I just want people to not always lump all of this together. You know, we're lumping it together in this podcast because we want to sort of define that equation, help you guys define your equation of compatibility.
Differentiate. Yeah, so you have a better understanding for yourself.
You know, like when somebody comes to me for a job, let's take it to the job world. When somebody comes to me looking for a job, the first thing I want to think about is there going to be chemistry with my staff?
Yeah.
Like, is there going to be feelings? Are they going to be cool? Are they going to be lukewarm? Is there going to be some nitpicking stuff? And are they going to be compatible with the way that I work? Yeah. Like my plan, the way that I am, the things that I expect, is that how they live? Like if somebody who's, you know, ADD, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? OCD, just really on top of things. For me, that works because I know I won't miss anything. If I'm very organized and somebody who's not very organized, they may be the nicest person in the world. Everybody gets along with them. That's the chemistry. But they're not compatible for this job.
For that job with you.
With me. Correct. And I may think you're the sweetest person in the world and there's chemistry. I get along with you. We can hang out. But you're not compatible with me in this job because I need you to be a certain way.
Yeah. But that person be the person that you say, let me help facilitate you in a good direction, a different direction. Because I like you.
I like you and you got a decent resume. Here's the type of job that would suit you better than working with me. And so I think a lot of people, and these are why people jump from job to job, because they end up running into jobs that aren't compatible with who they are as a person. You can't shove a free spirit into a 9-to-5. It doesn't work. Yeah, right? You can't do that. That doesn't work. You can't push an artist into a job that doesn't allow them to be creative.
Right.
You know, you can't push a numbers person into a writing job.
Right.
You know, you can't make an accountant be an attorney. That shit doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't. So you have to, when you think about compatibility, you got to think about what works with your personality, your education, your lifestyle, kind of what your expectations are. What's compatible with me? I want to be a mom. I have kids, so I need to be able to take off work when I can. I need to have flexibility. Mm-hmm. If you need a flexible work schedule and your job is not flexible, you're not compatible with that job no matter how much they're going to pay you. You can't say, I'll learn to be inflexible. No.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times what happens is people try to force feed themselves into that position, and everybody hurts. Everybody ends up hurting. The job hurts. The workload hurts. The staff hurts. The employer as well as yourself. And you're left like, what do I do?
Yeah. You know, and you if you look at a relationship in the same way, compatibility is when expectations on both sides are met.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I expect a woman in my life to be able to do A through Z. You expect a man in your life to do A through Z. If I can't do A through Z because that's not who I am, then we're not compatible. It doesn't make me a bad person.
It doesn't make you a bad
right.
the
It just
person.
means that as much as we're attracted to one another and there's this magnetic draw, A through Z still needs to be met for this relationship to work long term. Short term, when all the butterflies and all that anxiety and all that shit's gone, and that chemistry and that fire starts to cool a little bit, you still have to be compatible in order to be able to do life.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think at certain points, though, the level of compatibility changes? Because as time goes on, life changes, things go forward differently. You know what I mean?
I think life circumstances change, but I think your ability to adapt together is what makes you compatible. Mm-hmm. You're not compatible if you can't adapt together.
Okay.
Because you both got to be able to change. You got to be able to grow. If you're here and she's over here, and you're changing, but you're growing separately in separate directions, then you're not compatible, and that's okay. You either grow together or you grow apart. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's no other way. So you grow together. That means you change together because your life's goals and plans are relatively the same. If you start out by saying, for example, in a relationship with a woman or a man, you say, yes, you start out saying we want kids, and then work gets busy for him or her, and she changes her mind and decides, I kind of don't want him, and he still does.
There's a problem.
There's a problem. Same thing the other way. She really wants kids, and he never did, but he thought maybe I could go down that road. They were never really compatible on that level, but didn't realize it till it came up.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's why people say have those conversations early.
Yeah. I mean, that goes for us. I mean, to tell a story, we were trying to have kids. We were down that road, and we couldn't have them.
Right.
But we both decided, okay, let's go on together because we didn't want to adopt.
You adapted together.
Yeah.
You changed together.
Yeah.
And that's what compatibility is. Compatibility isn't, I'm going this path. If you can't come to this path, then we're no longer compatible. No, you're no longer compatible because you're not willing to change.
Yeah.
You're not willing to adapt. If you're willing to adapt and you can adapt in the same direction.
We're taking the same road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
We're not taking the scenic route. We're not taking the off-road. We're taking the same road.
And it doesn't work if you try to make someone always meet you where you are.
Mm-hmm. Either try to pull them or push them, because a lot of times it happens different ways.
Yeah, you can't expect people to meet you where you are. You have to be willing to meet them halfway.
Yeah.
So if somebody goes far right, you got to be willing to go halfway right and pull them back towards this way. And then if you take off far left, they got to be willing to come a little bit left to kind of help pull you on the straight and narrow. But it's that back and forth. It's never going to be we're always going 100 miles an hour that way. And I think it's unrealistic. And that's where you're like, but we get along so great. We have so much chemistry. Yeah, but you're not compatible because you want different shit in your life. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. If you have a problem with how much I work and I'm never home, and you want somebody that's home more, that means we're not compatible. We have mad chemistry because we feel for one another, but my lifestyle doesn't match what you want, so that's not compatible.
Because you enjoy working.
Yes. But I'm just saying. So
I got it. Yeah.
And like, for example, we can go back to the job thing. If jobs have a certain requirement, and when you're thinking about a career, you think about what career is going to be compatible with who I am. If you don't like people, don't be a doctor. You know what I mean? And I tell students this all the time when I talk to them. If there's anything in your life that you can think about doing as a plan B to being a doctor, then you should go do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be the physician or the surgeon or the doctor that you need to be, there is no plan B.
There is no plan B.
And so people with plan Bs aren't conducive to being the best physician they can be. Now, there's the majority of physicians out there all have a plan B, and they start thinking about the money, the this, the that, and they're always looking for, man, I can't wait till I can retire and this, that, and the other. No. Somebody who's really compatible with their job and they love what they do, they're not looking for retirement. They're not looking for the plan B.
People that got a plan B don't be planning. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
They don't plan.
Well, and
they're looking for an out.
And they don't really give a shit about plan A. Plan A just sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, it makes them feel a certain way.
Yeah. It's attractive.
Right. It's attractive, but they don't want to do what it takes
right
to be that.
Right. They don't have chemistry. Yeah.
You know,
let's
they don't feel it.
Let's use all the phrases.
Yeah, they don't feel it.
Yeah,
they don't feel it. And so people always like, well, how do I know this is the right job for me? When Monday comes and you're happy to go. When you're looking for, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I got to go to work, that job's not compatible for you. If you wake up in the morning, you're like, I get to go to work. Different. Very different. And so I wanted to dive into this purely for that reason. Let's just, I wanted people to wrap their head around this concept.
People don't think about it.
We don't think about it that much.
No.
We throw these terms out. Oh, are we compatible? Don't ask me that on the first date. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Don't ask me, what do you think? Do you think we're compatible? If you have to ask me, or if I have to ask myself that, am I compatible with her? No. You realize that as you learn certain things. I think what most people don't pay attention to is they know early on things that are not compatible with what they want, but they ignore it because they hope the chemistry will supersede the compatibility.
Yeah.
Oh, she said she wants this, or he says he likes this, but dude, I really dig this person, and I don't. Maybe I can look past that, because do I really have to have that? No. I mean, you're already settling, and I think people settle with people they're not compatible with.
100%. A lot of times, and they're so busy caught up into the idea of what that relationship looks like or should look like, that they're not living and learning, like, oh, something's off here. I know that one.
Yeah.
This guy.
So here's what's interesting, and let's see if you agree with this.
Yes.
Attraction for men is instant. Chemistry takes time. Compatibility is learned. With women, chemistry is first, and then they become more attracted to the dude they have chemistry with. And then they hope that they become that they're compatible. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That's you just came up with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with that one.
Right?
I fall in line with that one.
Yeah.
That's it's very interesting, because you think about how women engage with men. It's like, oh, he's cool, he's got a good job, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. It's like he's fun to be around, he's fun to talk to, and yeah.
And women will settle on a dude that they're really compatible with, that they have some chemistry with, if they're not attracted to them. A man will never settle on a woman they're not attracted to. A woman who a man is compatible with and has chemistry with is in the friend zone no matter what.
I was going to say, it goes right back to what we said last time. Yeah, men, we have to get a bid from another man.
Yeah, attraction is instant.
Yeah, you need to holler at this
one.
Okay.
100%. With women, that's why you'll see so many women out there who will say, when I first met my dude, or we were friends first, or I wasn't really attracted to him, then over time,
we were cool.
That attraction built.
Yeah, we were good.
Yeah.
We were cool.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, damn, I like this dude.
Yeah.
With women, with dudes, We see you and we're like, attraction is there.
Right.
And then we pray and hope there's chemistry.
Yeah.
And that chemistry makes us want to hang out.
I say women are like they look at us like a painting on a wall. You keep looking at it long enough, it'll start to change shape. It'll change direction. You're like, oh, okay, I see the attraction in this, but it takes a level of time a lot of times.
Kind of like that ugly ass puppy. Think about it. You see these ugly puppies and you hear people say, oh, but he's so cute. He's an ugly dog, but the personality of the dog makes you fall in love with the dog.
Right.
A man is not going to fall in love with that woman he's not attracted to. And so he finds her attractive. He hopes they have chemistry. And then over time, as he gets to know her, that chemistry builds and builds. But a guy will make an excuse for them not really being compatible if she's hot enough or if she makes him feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
He will sacrifice compatibility
Yep.
if she makes him feel good about himself and if she looks good on his arm. Because men, we're kind of stupid. Women won't sacrifice compatibility
Right.
for attraction.
Right.
At all. That's just, if they think or feel they need certain things from a man.
Chemistry is very important.
Chemistry is hugely important, but a woman will settle. Some, not a lot, but more some women out there will settle if this dude meets their life plan. I want this, I need this, I hope, and that chemistry may not be raging in them, but it's enough. And that attraction may not be raging in them, but he's got a lifestyle that suits her needs. And so they're compatible on that front, even though there's no main attraction. Where this goes awry, women who settle on a dude because it's compatible with the lifestyle they want to live end up cheating on their man with the dude they're attracted to and have chemistry with. Mm. So you guys out there, if you know this woman, you'll never really know because they're good at hiding this. But a woman will have, and it'll always be that dude who you hear about from time to time, who's around, who's
lurking.
Not necessarily one of her good friends. It could be a work dude that there's just chemistry. There's something there. Look out for that guy. I'm telling you. But I think, I'm going to get some pushback on the compatibility part, but that's why we do. We spark conversation.
But let alone, look out for yourself.
Yeah.
I know we talk about the other side and what they're doing or not doing, but if they're doing something, what are you doing for them to do? Because I think we want to use an external force or external energy, and we're not able to dive into ourselves.
Oh, and the thing is, the woman who's looking elsewhere or the man who's looking elsewhere, it's not that the other person is doing something wrong. They're just not for you. I always tell people you can't make or fake compatibility. You can't make yourself more compatible for them, because then you're not living your true self. You have to live your true self and just hope that who you are is compatible with the person that you want to be with or that you feel you want to be with. That person you have chemistry with. If you try to change to meet their things that they say they need,
you're not who you are.
You're not being your true self. And eventually,
it'll come out.
When everything else in the relationship, the love story starts to kind of be monotonous, that who you are is going to come out, and you're going to realize you're not compatible, and then your life story is going to be fucking rocky. Mm-hmm. Right? You may stick with it because you're like, I'm living off the memory of that chemistry, how she makes me feel, and how she makes me feel good about myself, but we have a different life plan. And is that fair for either one of you? You stick with it because you know you're not compatible, but you should be. Like, I always hear people, why am I not compatible with this guy? We should be. He's got everything I need on paper.
Yeah.
It's not that he's not compatible with you. You just don't have chemistry. You don't feel that chemistry.
The funny thing is, chemistry is like the the way you make it sound, it's like a morphine drip. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just enough. Just enough.
But that dose can
Right.
go up over time.
Yeah.
Because the more you're around that person, it can go up over time, or you can realize that dopamine hit or that morphine hit wasn't real. It was just lust and not chemistry. It was attraction more than chemistry.
Right.
People mistake the two.
Oh,
you know?
Oh, all the time.
And so because you like being around her, I always say, you want to know if you got, as a dude, you want to know if you got real chemistry with a woman? Tell me how you feel about her 20 seconds after you come. After you have an orgasm, that first 5 minutes, tell me how you feel. That'll let you know if you have chemistry with this woman. Think about it. Because you're no longer trying to have sex with her. You're no longer thinking about how hot she is. You're no longer that animal magnetism. And that 5 minutes after you have an orgasm is gone in a dude. Mm-hmm. It builds back up again. But in those first 5 minutes, if you look over and like, damn, I really like this woman, that's chemistry. That's an easy thing that men can understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, ladies, y'all won't understand that because y'all don't know how a man thinks.
I was going to say, but actually you should be telling them because they're the ones that need to hear that and understand that because they don't take the time just to listen to us. Mm-hmm. I said that out loud. To us as men.
If a dude is only trying to be around you, or if every time he's around you, he's trying to have sex with you, there's no chemistry. If he can't have sex, or if he knows there's no sex involved, he doesn't want to be around you, or he makes an excuse not to be around you, whatever it may be, there's no chemistry. There's just attraction.
Remind me of Bridesmaids. Remember the guy, John Hamm? She was dating, but after he smashed, she's like, "Oh, all right, see you later."
Yeah,
you gotta go. Made her hop the gate.
Yeah, but it's and there's women, same thing. You know, when you're looking at that dude and like, I wish he'd go home. That means you have no chemistry with him. You are satisfied with how he made you feel physically, and you're good. And that's all right. You don't have to have chemistry with every dude that you're attracted to. Men, you don't have to try to force chemistry with every woman you're attracted to. It's one of those things where you see this woman, you pumped her up in your mind. So, dude, prime example. Let me tell a quick story.
Sure.
So, I go out to dinner.
Okay.
A friend of mine, same thing. Dude, I need you to meet this. Come to dinner, have a good time. Didn't tell me you're going to meet somebody, whatever.
Okay.
Him and his friend, his girlfriend, set it up. We all went to dinner. There's about 10 of us. And me and this woman just happened to sit next to each other. But that's who they wanted me to meet.
Okay.
And I see her, I'm like, oh, stunning, right? Like drop dead gorgeous. Sits down next to me, conversation flow. I was like, oh, all right, this is cool. We banter back and forth, all the things that chemically make you feel something.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, there's some chemistry there. We exchange numbers, exchange a couple phone calls. We go to dinner. Dude, I'm going to tell you, probably one of the most dull dates I've ever been on. And I'm sitting across the table from her, and there was nothing to talk about. Nothing wrong with her. Just, I'm trying to have a conversation, and it was like pulling teeth. And it wasn't really, not like a 2020 interview, but, I'm talking about the food, and I'm talking, things that I enjoy talking about. And literally she's sitting there looking at me like this. And in my mind, I kept thinking, dude, there's not going to be no dessert. We're out. And I was like, immediately I'm like, she's so hot. There's got to be something there. There's got to be something there.
But when you're pulling teeth.
There's got to be something there. And so, end of the date, we bounce. Take her home. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And so, don't really talk to her again for a while. Then my friend was like, dude, how was it? I was like, dude, it was kind of dull. But then I thought to myself, and this is where the superficial part of a man's brain kicks in. I was like, maybe she was nervous. She's so friggin' hot. I'm gonna try again. Right?
You created what she was.
I created what I wanted her to be.
Yeah.
My idea of.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's go grab dinner. We go, and it was the same thing. Right? And I'm like, to the point where we go out, we have a good time. Because at this point, I was like, I'm just going to enjoy the night.
Yeah.
And it was all me. And so we go back. I take her to her place. And she was like, so you want to come up? And I literally looked at her and I was like, nah, I got an early morning. That's when lack of chemistry superseded attraction.
Yeah.
That's like grown man shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, and I'm driving home, and this is when I had my house up at the hills, and she lived right down the hill, and I was like,
oh, wow.
yeah, and I was just like, she was close, and I was like, dude, maybe she's listening to this podcast. I haven't talked to her in a decade or more, maybe more than that. But I was just like, dude, it wasn't there, and so.
If she is listening, she needs to know.
Yeah, and so, and the thing is, there was nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with me. There was no chemistry there.
Didn't come
There was
together.
that initial chemistry, but it didn't go for that. There was that spark, but then nothing that took it past that.
No
And
flame.
So here's the crazy part. So fast forward, I had a party at my house, a big Labor Day party, and maybe 75, 80 people show up, right?
Wow.
Yeah, big party. This was right maybe a year after I moved in, something like that. And so I'm like, there's going to be some dudes here. There'll be some single dudes here. And I'm like, invite some women. So I invited her. She came up, brought one of her girlfriends, and I'm sitting on the staircase, and the door's over here, behind me.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there talking to one of my boys. And I'm sitting on the staircase, and the front door opens, and he looks, and he's facing the door, and his mouth just drops. I didn't even turn around. I was like, oh, she's here. It's just exactly what I thought, right? So she comes in. I was like, yeah, go out back. I go out back, and she's talking to people. She's lively. I go out there. She's talking to me. She's
She's a starter.
She's a player. She's playful. She's having conversations with everybody. She's having conversations with me, and I'm thinking to myself, the fuck happened to this at dinner?
She's a starter.
But at that moment, I no longer, because I saw the other side,
Right.
where I was just like, all right, well, this is. And so that's the perfect example of attraction, initial chemistry, nothing to follow.
It's funny because people like that need group setting.
Yeah.
But once they're mano a mano, they're.
Yeah. And so to me, that's not compatible with who I am.
No, not
I need
at
to
all.
be. I need to have this one-on-one.
That's not compatible to anybody.
Right,
I mean,
and
if they're
and
engaged,
maybe
yeah.
because maybe she felt intimidated, or maybe she just wasn't, But I think also she may have been trying to force the compatibility. Like, I should like this dude. Everything about him is what I would like about him, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And so that why,
sucks.
and that's probably what it was, because there's nothing wrong with her. She was a personal trainer, smart woman, had a degree in kinesiology, whatever. Smart chick. But there was nothing there. And at dinner, I'm sure we were both like, and then when she invited me to come upstairs, and I was like, nah, I'm good. She literally looked at me and was like, excuse me? Like, how could a man say no to this? And to have her save face, I was like, dude, I got such an early morning tomorrow. I got an early morning. I got to go. Oh, okay, I understand. I wasn't going to be like, dude, I'm not interested,
Yeah.
But that's a moment of, I wanted it to be more compatible. She was willing to see if there was compatibility,
Right.
but there wasn't,
Yeah.
and haven't spoken to her since that day at my house. And it's okay.
But how many men, or not say men, but how many people, period, force feed that?
Oh,
You know
all the
what I
time.
mean?
All the time. People force feed relationships because they think that relationship is what they should have.
Yeah.
This is who I should like, this guy. I should be into this woman. She should be good for me.
And my friends wanted me to meet her, so I should.
Everybody says we're good together, so I should be with her.
Right.
Because on paper, that's who I've always said I wanted. But now that I have that person on paper, just because she checks all the boxes doesn't mean there's chemistry.
There's a couple of celebrities that come to mind, female celebrities. I'm not going to say their names.
Yeah.
But they come to mind when you see them. They like, why can't they hold a relationship down? Why can't, you're like, she's who she is. Oh my gosh, she's drop dead gorgeous. She's the best thing since sliced bread. No, we don't know her.
Right.
We don't know what she's behind closed doors or in those intimate moments. We don't know who she is.
Yeah, you don't know. Just because they give off a certain persona to the public,
that
doesn't mean
job.
Yeah, doesn't mean that's who she is. She's or who he is.
Celebrity. That's her job. She acts. She sings. She does all these things.
There's celebrities I've met. I'm like, damn, you're actually cool. Right. And I thought they were. And then there's some I've been like, oh, you're batshit crazy.
Yeah.
You know, there's been people who've wanted to set me up with a couple of very well-known celebrities, and I'm just like, nah, because I talked to them behind the scenes. They're like, yeah, she's a little, and I'm like, then it's not gonna work. I don't care how beautiful or how famous she is. When you're like, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm good. I'm done. I don't need that shit in my life.
You got it. You got to know your boundaries, man.
Yeah, because all of that shine dulls over time if you're not compatible.
Yeah.
If you're compatible, then like I said, that life story just grows because you're like, dude, we're freaking frack. We're doing our thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of that shine is not because it's been buffed, it's been sprayed on.
Yes, fool's gold. That fool's gold versus the real thing.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, because even dull ass gold is worth something. Shiny ass fool's gold ain't worth shit.
That's right.
You know? And so I think as we go forward, man, people should just really take time to sit back and think. Look at the person next to you. Look at the job you're in. Look at your friends. Why are they your friends? They're your friends because they're compatible with you. They're your friends because there's chemistry. Look at your person that you're with. Is there really truly chemistry? Or are you with them because you think they're good for you or they're good for where you want to go in your life?
Or better yet, with the person that you're with, maybe it's time to start having discussions. Not to say that you need to part ways, but maybe get on the same wavelength because life be lifing. And sometimes we just need to figure out how to come back together again.
Don't be afraid to tell people what you want.
Yeah.
Or what you want, what you need, and what you expect.
Right.
The people you're trying to spend life with or share life with should know those three things. What you want, what you need, and what you expect. Because uncommunicated expectations is the killer of all relationships.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what you want, there's zero chance you're going to be able to express it to the person next to you. If you don't know what you need, or you're afraid to tell somebody what you need because you think it's going to make you seem needy and they're going to want to bounce, then they're going to bounce at some point, or you're going to be living without your needs being met and you're settling. And that's no kind of life, man.
At all.
Anyway, done fucking with y'all today. Dude, Coach KJ, man, where they gonna find you, man?
Man, they gonna find me on the Instagram. We'll talk like the old folk. The Instagram, the Google. Coach KJ knows. Coach KJ knows, and CoachKJ.com.
You're going to find me at Leonel Hunt on IG. You're going to find me at huntspine.com. Go check out thehuntfoundation.org. Everything Coach and Doc. Find us on Spotify, YouTube,
Apple,
all
of them.
On IG, you'll find us at SOE_podcast, and on the Google, you'll find us at podcastsoe.com. Every Saturday, we do a live for the warm-up and just answering people's questions. This podcast comes out every Wednesday at 6 a.m. Go to your favorite host and subscribe. All right, y'all. Hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe. Or even if you don't like, shoot us some comments. Tell us why. Tell us what you want to hear. And on that note, man, we out.
We out.